So dear friends, the equation which involves logarithmic function, exponential function, or say trigonometric function, then that function is said to be a transcendental function. If the function is a polynomial function, then it is referred to as the algebraic function. So the numerical solutions to such type of equations which are studied under the method of regular falsy method. It is also called as method of false position. So we shall discuss this false position method. So consider the equation b f of x is equal to 0 whose numerical solution is to be determined. Okay. f of x equal to 0 ये पॉलिनोमियल या फिर ट्रांसेंडेंटल इक्वेशन का न्यूमेरिकल सॉल्यूशन हमको निकालना है. तो दिस स्टेप 1 हमको दो पॉइंट्स ऐसे निकालने हैं कैपिटल ए एंड कैपिटल बी सच दैट one of the f of a or f of b should be negative. Not both of them should be negative. So that the product f of a into f of b should be negative. This f of a into f of b should be negative. That means if one of them is positive, another is negative. If one of them is negative, another is positive. So that their product f of a and f of b should be negative. Here I have mentioned f of a is positive and f of b is negative. F of a may be negative and f of b may be positive depending upon the nature of equation. So this is the first step. सबसे पहले दो पॉइंट्स निकालना है a और b, कैपिटल a और b, such that f of a into f of b should be negative. यानी f of a और f of b के अपोजिट साइंस है, ग्रेटर देन है और लेस देन. ये समझो f of x का कर्व है, ये उसकी ज्योमेट्री है, ये इसका प्लॉट है. तो ये हमारा पॉइंट A है और ये पॉइंट B है. यहां पर f of A ये है, हाइट ऑफ द कर्व. इट इज पॉजिटिव अबव एक्स एक्सिस. ये f of B हाइट बिलो एक्स एक्सिस है, ये नेगेटिव हाइट है इसकी. इट इज बिलो द एक्स एक्सिस, वैल्यू इज नेगेटिव. सो दीज आर द 2 पॉइंट्स. नंबर 1. Next, in the next step, we determine this point x1 which joins this points A and B, which cuts the x-axis. Now, how to determine this point? By the equation, the slope of AC is equal to slope of AB. What is slope of AC? The coordinates of point C be equal to say x1 comma 0. It is not x, perhaps it is x1. This should be x1. Now, slope of chord AC is y2 minus y1, 0 minus f of a upon x2 minus x1. ये x1 x2 पॉइंट है, x1 y1 पॉइंट है और ये x2 y2 पॉइंट है. तो y2 minus y1 अपॉन x2 माइनस x1 यानी 0 माइनस f ऑफ a अपॉन x1 माइनस a इक्वल टू स्लोप ऑफ AB. स्लोप ऑफ AB क्या है? fb माइनस f ऑफ a अपॉन b माइनस a. सो दिस इक्वेशंस गिव्स मी द वैल्यू ऑफ x1. x1 इज इक्वल टू, लेट अस क्रॉस मल्टीप्लाई, माइनस b f of a plus a f of a. This product is equal to x1 into fb minus f of a minus a f of b minus minus will be plus plus a f of a. So this AF of A goes. So x1 into fb minus f of A is equal to this term AF of B goes towards the left hand side, A into F of B minus B into F of A, or say x1 is equal to, the formula for x1 is A into F of B minus B into F of A upon F of B minus F of A. So this value of this is the x1 coordinate of this point capital C. This is our step 2. After determining the x coordinate of point capital C lying on the x-axis, we determine f of x1. What is f of x1? This point, this height below x-axis. As it is below x-axis, is it negative? It is less than 0. So, as f of x1 is negative and f of A is positive, this is positive. So, this point x1 replaces this point B. This negative point replaces this negative. What does it mean? Here, what does it mean? The root lies between A and B. For A it is positive, for B is negative. So for A is positive and for x1 is negative, that means root lies in A to x1. Because for A it is positive, for B it is negative. For x1 it is negative. Earlier root was lying between this point A and this point B. But now root lies between this point A and x1. Now, again we join this point, let this point say be D. Now, for this chord AD, we again determine this point, say x2. This point by the same formula. Then we determine f of x2. Here f of x2 is again negative. As it is negative, again root lies between A and x2. We have still contract the interval first AB, then AX1, then AX2. Again f of x2 is negative. We join this chord, determine this point x3 by virtue of this formula. Again f of x3 is negative. Again we join this point. So, at last we reach to this point, which is root of, we want to determine this point x. Because at this point it touches the x-axis. Its f of x is 0, y is 0. So that is how this method works numerically, computationally. Now, subject to this method, we shall solve one numerical based on this. Now, solve. X cube minus 4x plus 1 equal to 0. This is f of x by regular Falsy method. So, step 1, determine 2 points capital A and B such that f of A and f of B, they have opposite signs. This is determined by just checking the values of f of 0, f of 1, f of 2, f of 3 likewise. So, what is f of 0? Given. What is given to us? F of x is x to the power x cube minus 4x plus 1 equal to 0. F of 0, put x equal to 0. 0 minus 0 plus 1, it is 1. Now f of 1. What is f of 1? It is 1 cube means 1 minus 4 plus 1. So 2 minus 4, it is minus 2. What does it mean? So A is equal to, here, A is equal to 0 and B is equal to 1. F of A is, f of 0 is 1 and f of 1 is minus 2. This is f values. So, what does this mean? F of 0 is 1, f of 1 is minus 2, which means, therefore, root lies in 0 and 1. Therefore, what is x1? x1 का फॉर्मूला क्या है? a into f of b minus b into f of a upon b minus a. A into f of b minus b into f of a upon b minus, sorry, a into f of b minus b into f of a divided by f of b minus f of a. This is a, this value is b, this is f of a and this is f of b. So a into f of b, a is 0, 0 into minus 2, it is 0, minus b into f of a, 1 upon f of b minus f of a, minus 2, minus 2. So it is 1 by 3. So it is x1 is equal to 0.333. Now, this determine x1, we determine f of x1. F of x1. F of x1 means f of 0.3333 means in this f of x, put x is equal to 0.3333, which is minus 0.2963 minus f of 0.3333 is minus 0.2963. It is negative. What does it mean? For 0 it is positive. That means the root lies between 0 and 0.333. F of 0 positive, f of 0.3333, it is negative. Therefore, root lies in which point? 0 and 0.3333. Therefore, x2 is equal to, these are now our revised point A and B. A into f of B, A is 0. F of B is minus 0.2963. It is 0, of course. 0 into anything is 0. A into f of B minus B into B is 0.3333 into f of A. F of 0 is 1 upon f of B. F of B is minus 0.2963 minus f of 0 is 1. So x2 is minus 0.3333 divided by minus 1.2963, and this value is x2 value. It is equal to minus 0.11558. It is negative again. Negative. Therefore, root lies in which interval? For 0 it is positive, and for this x2, point x2 is 25714. This is 0.25714, and f of x2 is minus 0.11558. The point x2 is 2.25714. Its value as it is negative. The root lies between 0 and 0.25714. और इंटरवल कॉन्ट्रैक्ट हो गया. सबसे पहले वो इंटरवल 0-1 था, फिर 0-2.3333 हो गया, फिर अब 0-2.25 से भी कम हो गया. अब इसके लिए पॉजिटिव है, इसके लिए नेगेटिव. फिर x2 निकाला, x3 निकलेगा. x3 क्या है? a इंटू एफ ऑफ बी, 0 इंटू एफ ऑफ 2 पॉइंट कितना है? माइनस 0.11558 is 0 ही होगा, माइनस b इंटू एफ ऑफ ए. एफ ऑफ ए 1, एफ ऑफ 0 1 ही है ऑलवेज, अपॉन एफ ऑफ बी. एफ ऑफ बी इज माइनस 0.11558 minus a into f of b minus b into f of a upon f of b, f of this minus f of a. F of 0 is 1. And this gives me the value of x3. If we calculate this becomes minus 0.25420. 0.25420. x1 की वैल्यू थी 0.25714, x3 की वैल्यू है 0.25420, कम होगी उसकी वैल्यू। अब इसकी f वैल्यू, f of x3, f of this 0.25420 is minus 0.0003742. Again, as it is negative, the root lies between which point? 0 and 0.25420. Subject to this, we shall go one step further. We shall determine x4. A into f value of this minus b into f value of this upon f of this value minus f of a value. So a is 0. The f value of this is minus 0.0003742. A into f of b minus b into, what is b? A into f of this, f value of this minus b equal to 0 into f of a. F of 0 is 1 upon f of b 0.0003742 minus f of 0 is 1. This value comes at x4 is 0.25410. Earlier it was 2.420, now it is 0.25410. This is x4. And f of x4, if we put in this cubic equation x equal to 0.25410, it gives me the value, which value? Minus 0.00029136. Sorry, 12936. So x3 was 0.25420. x4 is 0.25410. As in x3 and x4, first three digits are repeating, 2, 5 and 4. 0.24520, 0.24510. This 254 and 254. In this, they are repeating. Therefore, x equal to 0.254 is the approximate solution of given equation, because its f value is as close as to the origin. It is nearer and nearer to 0. That is why this is the approximate. It is not exactly 0. It is perhaps nearest to 0. As it is nearest to 0, that is why we say that it is not the exact solution. Perhaps it is the approximate numerical solution found by this regular falsy method of this cubic equation, x cube minus 4x plus 1 equal to 0. So hope you have understand this. Now, in the last lecture, one example was incomplete. The partial differential equation dx upon so on. Z square minus 2yz minus y square p plus x into y plus z x into y minus z. This is actually the partial differential equation of the type PP plus QQ equal to R. It is Lagrange's linear partial differential equation, which is Lagrange's linear partial differential equations. PP plus QQ equal to R. So value of capital P is z square minus 2yz minus y square, and value of capital Q is x into y plus z, and capital R is x into y minus z चाहिए एक जगह x into y plus z, it should be minus x into y minus z. So auxiliary equations क्या होते हैं? Auxiliary equations होते हैं dx upon p equal to dy upon q equal to dz upon r. P, Q, R की वैल्यू सब्स्टिट्यूट कर दो. Therefore, dx upon z square minus 2yz minus y square is equal to dy upon x into y plus z equal to dz upon x into y minus z. So, such simultaneous auxiliary equations we normally solve by method of grouping number 1 or by method of multipliers, MOM method of multipliers. Now, method of grouping means in first pair dx dy if z is absent. Here z is not absent. In second and third, dy dz is x is absent. We see here that in dy and dz, x can be cancelled out. So we can pair up second with third. Now grouping. Dy upon x into y plus z equal to dz upon x into y minus. Here we obviously x goes. After cross multiplying y dy minus z dy equal y dz plus z dz. So we see here y dy minus z dz is equal to y dz plus z dy. It's very simple to determine the solution of this. Y dy means y square by 2 minus z square by 2, and first into differential of second plus second into differential of this, it is d of yz. And integral of this is yz. This is equal to yz plus c1. Therefore, y square minus z square minus yz minus 2yz is equal to c1. This is a typical example in which we are using the method of grouping as well as method of multipliers. Now we will be using method of multipliers. Now, method of multipliers काय असतं? If method of multiplier मध्ये if we determine element 3 multipliers असे शोधतो, असे डिटरमाइन करतो such that LP plus MQ plus NR this becomes 0. हे 0 झाले तर LDX plus MDY plus NDZ is also equal to 0 by theory of ratio and proportion. आता एलिमेंट कसे काढायचे? Normally 111 LMN 1 by X 1 by Y 1 by Z or XYZ, this happens to be the simple multipliers in simple type of partial differential equations. Now here, if we consider X into P plus Y into Q plus Z into R, consider this. P को X से मल्टीप्लाई करो, Q को Y से और Z को R से मल्टीप्लाई करके एडिशन करिए. ये P वैल्यू, P को X से मल्टीप्लाई किया तो क्या होगा? XZ स्क्वायर माइनस 2XYZ माइनस XY स्क्वायर, इसको X से मल्टीप्लाई किया, इसको Y से करो, XY स्क्वायर प्लस XYZ, इसको Z से करो प्लस XYZ प्लस XYZ 2XYZ हो रहे माइनस XZ स्क्वायर. तो ये XZ स्क्वायर माइनस XZ स्क्वायर, ये माइनस 2XYZ और ये प्लस 2XYZ कैंसिल हो रहे, ये XY स्क्वायर माइनस XY स्क्वायर, ये सब 0 हो रहा है. यानी XP YQ ZR 0 है, therefore X dx plus Y dy plus Z dz भी 0 होगा. इसका मतलब X स्क्वायर प्लस Y स्क्वायर प्लस Z स्क्वायर इक्वल टू C2. Family of arbitrary family of concentric spheres around the origin. This family of spheres and this family of such curves, इनका intersection is the solution of the given linear partial differential equations. को कैसे डिनोट करें? Pi of C1 comma C2. C1 क्या है हमारा? Y square minus Z square minus 2YZ comma X square plus Y square plus Z square that is equal to 0 is the solution of given equation. So that this particular exam was, I have left incomplete for some reasons. So I have finished it over here. Thank you very, very much. Thank you.